Isaac, and I am recording this for my programming to engineering class, which I will talk about basically the code and the problem from chapter 6, problem 6.30. So, for introduction, we have the problem basically I had to develop a function that will calculate slope and intercept for intercept of the least squares line that best fits on input data set. The input data points x and y will be passed to the function into input arrays x and y. So for the requirements, it is required by the problem to test the program using 20 specific values for x and y. And when the user first runs the program, it will display the results for the slope and the intercept using least squares method with the help of a function. Both slope and intercept will display specific values according to the formula and the value set for x and y. Output for the output, the program must display the calculated value for slope and intercept formulas. What must the program do with the information gathered from the user elsewhere? Well, by the way I coded, there is no need for the user to add any information, like the program is designed to work even if the values for x and y are changed. However, if you change the value for x and y, basically the results for slope and intercept will not be the same. Yeah, it's basic logic. This is for input data, like that is basically what I was saying. Is not required to input any data, like the user don't ask you to input any data or any number or nothing like that. Yeah, the output basically will be the number or the value for slope and the intercept. Technical summary: the programming language that I used for my project is MATLAB. I will also be using MATLAB functions to create my program. I use values for x and y, but that values you will find on the test book, and also the equation given at the example 5.6 and 5.7 chapter 5. Sorry. I will also be using the don't repeat yourself principle that basically says that repetition is the root of all software evil. Like this principle basically says that basically tell you the not repeat functions. Yeah. And in design, for design, how will you translate the requirements into implementation using the technical summary? My main program was to input the given values for x and y. I put all values for x and all values for y given on the textbook problem. I open enough function, calculate the sum of x and y, multiplication of x and y values, obtain the sum of x and y squared, calculate the slope and intercept from the x and y. And also I used fprintf. List the top five MATLAB functions that I used. The top 5 MATLAB functions that I used was function, sum, fprintf, and length. Recommendations: in my opinion, what would be nice to have, but it's out of the scope because of limited resources. In my opinion, time is the most limited resource that I have so far, because we are presently in our last days. So I have projects writing papers to do, and I really think that I don't have time to do all this stuff, but I just have to do it. And the appendix is basically where I put all the information that I collect from the project. This project, actually, I spent 1 week doing it. I am not that good in programming, I can tell. So it was easy for other persons, but not that easy for me. Yeah. So that was my template. Now I will go through my code and all this stuff. Okay, basically this is my program. This is the code that I did. This is basically everything that was in Word, everything that I was explaining before. So for the code, I have CLC, clear, the values for X and the values for Y. The values for X and Y you can find on textbook, or you will find on textbook chapter 6, problem 6.30. I call a function slope inter, that basically the intercept for X and Y, just to open a function, and then call the function the slope inter, the intercept for X and Y. I create a variable and that basically calculate the length of X. A function A that was the sum of X. Function B was the sum of Y. A and B was basically to calculate the sum of X and Y, the multiplication sum of X and Y. A2 was the sum of X squared. B2 was the sum of I squared. I don't know why I have that on B2. Maybe it is a problem, maybe not. I don't know how to understand why. But yeah, M and B is basically the formulas for the intercept and the slope. This formula you can actually find on the examples in chapter 5, examples 5.6 and 5.7. That is basically what I was saying in my word, what I was explaining before. After that, I used fprintf to open to have for you, just fprintf is basically for you to see the values of the slope and the intercept, but with the text on it. Yeah, so it's just to be pretty, to be more prettier, and yeah, I basically like it. I like it more to use fprintf than display. So if we run the code, you can see right here the test, the slope is 1.8013 and the intercept is 0.1130. That was basically what I was saying. In the workspace, we have the values of X and Y, which is like this because this is a lot. And right here it's like a vector. So Yeah, if we go through the function, that we can do that step by step. Oh, just a minute. That is bugging. Yeah, basically what I'm doing right now is going through the code step by step. You can see the cell as LCLC clear, the values for X, values for Y, the slope, as you can see right here, the slope intercept X and Y is like in the function. Basically right now we are in the function, we are inside. N is the length, A is the sum of X, B is the sum of Y. Basically I'm going step by step, and you can see that right now, going step by step, all the values goes to the workspace. Like, it's not just the value of the slope and the intercept. You have right here in the workspace the value for A, for B, for N. Yeah, which is crazy. It's awesome. For AB, for A2, we have for AB, for B2, for M, that is the slope, and for B, that is the intercept. F print F right there, and end. So that was my program. I didn't like to do it. I can lie. I don't actually like to program like that, but it was fun. It was fun, and that's everything I have for today. So thank you for watching my video, and bye.